Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Pokemon Ecology. I'm your host, Relic Jones, and for today's episode, we are going to go into a small slice of the ecosystem of the Galar region. Now, for our younger viewers that may not know what an ecosystem, you may have heard it be called a food web. It happens to be a chart that shows how different animal species, in this case Pokemon species, rely on each other to survive, mainly that one needs to use the other for food, for eating them. We're going to start at the bottom of our food chain with the humble Magikarp. The Magikarp is a staple of several Pokemon diets. A lot of bird-type Pokemon happen to eat Magikarp. A lot of water-type Pokemon eat Magikarp, and even us humans have been known to eat Magikarp. Next on our food chain is the Arakota, which is native to the Galar region. They happen to be a very ferocious predatory fish, hunting Magikarp, Wishy-Washy, and the like. The only competition the Arakota happens to have is most likely the Basculin that was introduced from the Unova region that they brought over to Galar to introduce more sport fishing species. This happens to have caused a conflict with these two species fighting over the same food source, that being the Magikarp and stuff like the Wishy-Washy, maybe even the Chimchao. Lastly, on the tippy top of this particular food chain, we have the predatory birds. In our world, you can think stuff like cranes would be this case. But today in the Pokemon world, we are talking about Cramarant. Cramarant will actually hunt for the Arakota. Will actually try to devour it, and if the Arakota happens to be too big, it gets lodged into its throat. Now, you may think it's funny, and they do make it as a mechanic in which it can attack by launching said Arakota and or sometimes different Pokemon, because I believe that Cramarant is an opportunity hunter. Any Pokemon that it deems able to cram into its mouth, it will attempt to, as seen with some rare footage of a Pikachu even getting involved, which is terrifying. But the Cramarant seems to be very much based on our modern day king fishers, which fishermen for hundreds of years have actually tamed and trained to gather fish. They'll actually tie a rope around their throat so they can't actually swallow it down, and train these birds to fish for them and gather fish for the human, and actually then the human feeds the kingfisher, if you will, after it has done its job hunting. I believe it's a natural problem of trying to gorge itself more than it ought to. But that is for today's episode of Pokemon Ecology. I hope that you have liked it. Look up the playlist and look for future editions of this show. This is Relic Jones signing out.